Hey.
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 How be you? How be you?
I've got a bit of like my cat's got the zoomies at the minute, apparently.
I can see. Crispy, come and introduce the episode for me because I absolutely failed at this whole thing that she's just squinting at you in the background.
Can you see her? She's just staring behind me, yeah.
I can see. Just the eyes, just like, hello, check what you're doing. Crispy. Hello, Crispy. Oh, she's a little lady. Baby.
This episode might be a crispy heavy one.
Crispy heavy episode today.
You know what? Actually, I have something to say.
What?
In the Shocking Twist events, I have something to say. The silent me.
The silent one.
So, unconversational. So, you and we both collect old cameras.
Yes. Yes.
So I was eating my breakfast, which is to say, toast. It was great. This morning, obviously.
Can't go wrong with toast. Ooh, obviously. At 4 a.m.
I was sat on the floor next to my chair, because sometimes you need floor time. I was sat like in the little alcovey bit where we've got like a painting, some books, a pineapple lamp, all that good stuff, and one of my old cameras. And I was looking at it in my, in my toast zone out time. And I was like, that camera, it's weird. I think it's weird buying secondhand stuff. It's not weird. Okay, stay with me on this. Okay, stay with me because I feel like you're going to understand it.
Okay, go on.
So buying secondhand stuff is like, oh yeah, someone had that jumper 4 months ago, didn't like it. Now it's mine from a charity shop. Grand. A camera though, that captures moments in people's lives, especially if those people are dead because it's an old camera, it's a little weird.
Different level. It's a different level. This is so weird because this kind of comes into what I was actually wanting to talk about today.
Old cameras?
Well, no, not old cameras. Are you done with the old camera story?
Yeah, no, I just thought you'd be able to
Right. No, I can 100% relate. So what I wanted to talk about today, which was a conversation I had earlier in the week with my partner, and I wanted to get your ideas on it. Ghosts. I want to talk about ghosts.
No!
I want to talk about ghosts. Not in any serious, this is what I believe. I just want to talk about ghosts.
Okay.
Right. So, I was saying to my partner the other week, do you think things can be haunted? What do you mean? Like actual items, do you think they can be haunted?
Okay, firstly, yes. Things can be haunted dolls.
But are they haunted though? How do you know they're haunted? Or is it just that weird feeling you get when you've bought a second-hand doll from a charity shop and it's got little dead eyes and you're there like, well, once a child probably loved this.
That is any doll.
Does it mean it's haunted? But it doesn't mean it's haunted though. Is it haunted though?
I think things with faces look creepy. I can't handle it.
Yeah, but you don't like anything with faces. You don't like dolls, masks.
That's true.
You're like, if anything's like a face or something that obscures the face, you're like, oh no, oh. And that's just your thing, and that's fine. You're allowed that thing. But it doesn't mean that everything's haunted, and it doesn't mean that the dolls are haunted just because you get the weird feeling from the dolls. Are they haunted?
Okay, but...
Can they be haunted?
Okay, but... As ghosts have not been proven.
No.
Right?
No.
If you get the feeling that something is haunted...
Yes.
And you believe it's haunted, then technically would that not then be...
Make it haunted.
Haunted.
That's what I want to talk about. Because obviously, we know, I don't believe that there isn't a... Pardon me.
That's a ghost. Ghost made you do that.
It's a ghost. It was the demons, as I always say. But the demons escaping. But, right, so obviously, I don't believe that there is an afterlife. I don't believe that there's God, deity, whatever. I don't believe that there's an afterlife. I don't believe that there's a God, blah, blah, blah. I'm a very staunch atheist. I'm excited by the idea of ghosts. I know that sounds weird, but that to me makes more sense than a lot of religions would. Like the idea of ghosts. Or like a psychic imprint, maybe. I don't know. So I'm just curious, because obviously you're saying dollars haunted, don't take it. And I know we already touched on it a little bit with the blood oozing Ouija board in the Curses episode.
Yeah.
Was it the Curses episode? Yeah. How you'd be like, no. And I'm just there like, yes. But what makes an item haunted or a place haunted? Is it like an actual dead spirit, or is it just like the energy that's kind of being left throughout the time? Because there are times when you go to, say, a place and you can feel kind of the history of that place. Do you know what I'm saying?
So, here's the thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine. I told you I'd be fine. I had a topic.
The human mind will fill in blanks. It's what it does. It's proven that that's where, like, a lot of these things come from. People who believe in ghosts will always look for that in things, and people who don't believe in ghosts will be like, no, that's logical. Something falls off a shelf. If you believe in ghosts, you're gonna think it's a ghost. If you don't believe in ghosts, you know, you're gonna think it just fell because things fall.
But things don't just fall, do they?
But something could make it fall, okay? So say it was on a bookcase that was on a floorboard, the floorboard's a bit rickety, you stand on it, it falls.
Okay, no, I see that logic.
You know, or it was a bit on edge, or it was off kilter, or it was way to one side.
Okay, right. So, the haunting, obviously, if things are moving around and things are happening, that's, without a doubt, kind of either proof or against, like you said, because if you believe, you're going to be like, that's proof. It's a ghost. If you don't believe, you're going to be like, it's an earthquake, or the cat knocked it over, whatever. Because obviously, with us, it's going to be probably the cat knocking it over.
The cat knocked it over, yeah.
But I'm on about more, not so much like actual ghost.
The vibe of a haunting.
Yeah, because as someone that is on a similar kind of brain level as me, have you never had that where you've gone into somewhere that's like, I don't know, like an old ass building, because we've got a lot of them in the UK, an old ass building that's like seen centuries and centuries and centuries of like wars and deaths, and history, especially English history, is really dark. Have you ever gone in somewhere and been like, there's a vibe in this place, I don't like it, and there's no reason why?
Okay, yes, but I think you go into it with that knowledge of it. You know, you go to a castle, right? When you're walking through the ruins, it's like, whoa, these are some ruins. That's like,
this is crazy.
Love how I could fall to my death because there's nothing here. You go to the dungeon of that ruins, and you're immediately like, hate it, the vibes are off, I'm gonna be stabbed by a ghost. You know?
That we don't believe in.
Right. But once you're in, like, that environment, you're entirely like, oh, but obviously, you know, people have died all over the castle. The dungeon isn't, like, where everyone died, but you're in that place knowing what happened, and you're using that in your brain, and it's making you be like, oh.
To make it worse. So do you think that's why there are so many situations where people are like, oh, places are haunted? Because it's like the human psyche kind of linking the history to the place that they are and making them edgy. Is that what you think?
That's what I personally think. The brain is very smart and very dumb and...
all in one. And we'll never understand it, I don't think. No matter how much we look into it properly, there'll always be something that's just like...
We live in a time where, like, we don't need all the skill sets that our brain has. You know, like, we're not running from predators. We're not having to be super aware of, like, our environment because we might die from, like, a pterodactyl.
Unless you're one of these anxiety babes, in which case we do that every day. Every day's a war day.
Yeah, but the anxiety isn't necessary. Like, it's not needed. Kind of part of the brain that would have been useful a long time ago and isn't anymore. Being hyper-vigilant of
everything.
The vibes. Would have served us better a long time ago than it does now, in which it just makes us be like, ugh.
I don't know, man. Sometimes there are just some places that I've been in where, even if there isn't history behind it that I know of myself, you get that vibe and you're just not comfortable and you can feel that edginess. Like, there's just something not right.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I don't want to go into the catacombs of France.
Do you know what I mean?
Because the vibes would be horrendous.
But I would. I would happily go into the cat. It would be horrible. You would feel, it would be like thick. You'd feel that, and that, for some reason, is something I like to find. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, but you like to be scared.
Yeah, okay. It's just, I don't know. It was just something we were talking about, and obviously, residual energy and stuff, and it's like, maybe, but I don't know. Like, sometimes you just go somewhere and there's just the vibes. There's the vibes. The catacombs in France is a perfect example because I guarantee you, if you walked in there, you wouldn't be able to breathe because it would be too thick with vibage. That is negative.
And lack of air because it's underground.
That too. But there are open parts of the catacombs, don't there?
I feel like it would still not be like a summer breeze, you know?
Might be a bit musty. Bit bony. Bit humany down there.
We've been to old houses before. The vibes. Creepy.
We have. Do you remember Hardwick Hall?
Okay, so yeah, there's a thing to be said about energy not leaving, like, physics-wise, the transference of energy has to go somewhere, like, it can't just
vanish.
disappear. And then there's the whole weight of the human soul thing.
If you believe in a soul.
No, but like it was proven that someone after death weighed 46 grams less. Did you not know about this? 1 second, because I'm going to have to Google it to make sure it's 100% right.
Google it!
The weight of
demand.
the human soul. Right.
Would that be the weight of the soul, though? Would that be the weight of the body excreting after death?
So, in popular culture, despite its rejection as scientific fact, McDougall's experiment popularized the idea that the soul has weight, and specifically, it weighs 21 grams. So, the 21 grams experiment refers to a scientific study published in 1907 by Duncan McDonnell, physician from Massachusetts. McDonnell hypothesized that souls have physical weight and attempted to measure the mass lost by a human when the soul departs the body. McDonnell attempted to measure the mass changes of 6 patients at the moment of death. One of the 6 patients lost 3/4 of an ounce, 21.3 grams. So it's been popularized that that's the weight of a human soul, because that weight went away when someone died. It's obvious. It's like literally, you know, like it's not scientific in any way.
No.
And it's like, yeah, okay, well, they probably that was probably just the air in their body and like the expulsion of gases and everything. Like that's what happens. But it's also really popularized that the human soul weighs 21 grams.
I think the human soul would weigh more if it existed.
Do you think? How heavy would you say the human's? Like a stone?
I don't know. I think it would depend on the person and depend on the soul. If we were going into it.
Oh, so it would kind of be like a being measured and weighed situation against a feather.
Yeah, kind of. If I was going to put a weight on a human soul.
They did that with the heart, I believe.
They did, which I would equate as the one that we'd probably say organ-wise relates most to the soul.
Really?
Which is following your heart, following your gut. Do you know what I mean?
So that's quite interesting that you would say what makes a person is the heart, whereas I would say the brain.
Obviously the brain. Obviously scientifically we know the brain. I'm on about like in conversations when you're talking about stuff that is like soul worth. People would usually refer to like, you know, it's in your heart, it's what you keep with you, it's...
But that's caused by the brain.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. That's just, it's like when you think of like love and souls, and like you think of hearts. I don't know if that's just because of like media throughout the years, but I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
You don't. So you'd say the soul's in the brain.
See, if I was to picture a soul, I would picture like kind of a human ghostly essence.
Well, yeah, obviously, if we were going to say soul in the sense of a soul outside the body by itself, I'd imagine a ghost. I'd imagine like me, but kind of see-through and kind of vibing. Like
Mr. Burns when he's high.
Yeah, when he's like, oh, I bring you peace. That's what I imagine a soul to be like, right? Like a weird little blah, 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 blah.
The earth says hello.
The earth says hello. Like, but I'm on about, like, if we're on about inside. If the soul's back in. The soul's in. You know?
You're a very emotional person. And I'm a very logical person.
I am. I'm a very emotional person. And you're a very logical person. I'm very emotional. Hence why probably I hold the idea that the soul would be more inside rather than up here. If that makes sense. It's like the warmth you feel.
Exactly, that's probably what it is. I'm enjoying this really weirdly philosophical time we're having about ghosts and souls.
I knew that this was going to be a great conversation.
Do I believe in ghosts? Is the main question, right?
Yeah, kind of. Or not even is the main, but what is the thought on the ghost and the soul? And it's just what you think when it comes to the idea of ghosts and the idea of a soul and the idea of things being haunted, like dolls or cameras, for example, because I have that same thing with cameras that you did. Like, that's one of the reasons I collect cameras, is for the reason that you didn't like the camera. Whereas that's one of the reasons I collect.
Yeah. But you also like Ouija boards and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I haven't collected one. I haven't bought one.
No, because you buy a used Ouija board, it's so cursed. It's so cursed.
It might not be. You don't know. But if we don't believe in ghosts and curses and all this, then how is it going to affect anything?
Okay, I'm very much I pick up vibes. I pick up vibes, and I'm pretty sure you pick up vibes. You pick up vibes immediately about someone. A lot of people do this, you know. They'll meet someone immediately like, the vibes are rancid. I don't care what you do, the vibes are not happening.
Oh, all the time.
And then whenever I'm proven right about these vibes, I'm like, go with your instincts.
This is interesting, because I saw something the other day on TikTok. Thanks, TikTok. Can't remember exactly, so don't quote me on it, but it was a girl who was a clinically diagnosed psychopath. Interesting. Now, her least favourite people to meet were autistic and neurodivergent people, because she couldn't read them like she could read normal people. And it was the same vice versa. Young girl, she came out, she's autistic, she was saying how she could instantly tell a psychopath from a mile away because, like, something doesn't click. Do you know what I mean? So I think that we kind of have that. We meet somebody, and it's very rare that I've met somebody, not liked them, and I've not been kind of justified. And I know I've been that person for a lot of people as well. Like, people don't like me. Cool. But, like, very rare are my vibes off.
A lot of people like me, so I'm fine with that. Here's the thing. We pick up on vibes. We don't know if it's a neurodivergent trait.
We do. Probably.
The vibes... In winter, I was in my office, right? All the lights were off. The corridor was completely dark. It was emergency lighting. I've walked that corridor 100 times. It's a new building. I was like, I'm gonna get stabbed by a demon. It's brand new. It was built, like, 5 years ago or whatever. No one has died in it, as far as I'm aware. Pitch black, though. No lights except for vague green emergency lights on a long corridor. I'm like, demons.
Right. Corridors are the worst, I think. Corridors, not a fan. Now, I don't know, obviously we've got games that ended up coming out that kind of made corridors even more terrifying. Do you remember hearing about PT? The demo that got released in like 2016. It was meant to be for the new Silent Hills, but then it got cancelled. So it was a demo for a game for Silent Hills. It was called PT, and it was basically exclusively set in a looping corridor. Do you remember? Does it ring a bell?
Oh! Was it kind of like in rooms and houses, and there was a glitchy TV and stuff, and you go outdoors and you go into the same room multiple times, but it would change?
Yeah, it's like the same corridor, and little things would change, and you go through the door at the end, and you come back at the beginning of the corridor, and then, like, you go back round and say you turn the corner, and the door along the corridor that was, like, on the corner that was shut is now open.
Yes.
Like, things like that. Right, okay. That game with corridors... It perfectly encapsulated, like, the reason why I don't know why I hate corridors. I've always hated corridors, but it's, like, the confinedness of it.
No escape.
Like, there's no escape from it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't escape from it. Like, one of my grandparents used to live in a big old rectory building next to the church, because obviously it's the rectory building. Anyway, big old house. I don't know when it was built, but it was big, and it was old, so... Probably a couple hundred years ago for the church, I don't know. But on the top floor, on the upstairs floor, at the top of the stairs, you had like a bit of the hallway that was kind of like a big square that was open, a couple of rooms off this square, and then there'd be a long ass corridor that went all the way down to the end of the house. Along this corridor, there was rooms that side and one window on this corridor. And I don't know why, but when I was younger, that corridor used to freak me out. Like, walking... Because the guest bedroom was at the end of the corridor. So if I stayed over for the night, because I was being babysat, whatever, I had to sleep in the guest bedroom at the end of the corridor. The vibes went right upstairs, man. Like, there was something about, like... I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than it used to scare me.
No, I get that.
And there was no reason why. It's just a corridor in an old house. But it felt so claustrophobic. It's like, even at my parents' flat... the corridor there, do you know what I mean? You know how there's just, but it's a big dark corridor. Sometimes when I used to walk in late at night and all the lights were off, I'd be like, oh. Even though I know that place is absolutely fine. I've like literally lived there since I was 14. Well, not now, but you know, like childhood home.
But this comes into the thing of like, I used to do this as a child. My friend used to do this as a child. You might have done it as a child. You're going upstairs, right? Or you're going to bed or whatever. You need to turn the last light off. You are preparing to sprint because everything's safe when the lights are on. The lights are off. 8,000 demons about to crawl out at you.
I do it now. I don't sprint, but I look behind me because it doesn't feel safe. The worst bit, because obviously you know how our stairs are, so when I turn the light off in the living room and there's only the light on upstairs, because obviously as I'm going up the stairs, we can see into our living room, can't we? Because there's just like that whole gap full, there's no banister properly there. It's when I'm walking up the stairs and it's like dark behind me and all I can see is the light at the top of the stairs and the darkness in the living room, and there's always that part in the back of my head that goes, there's a face through that glass in the door. There isn't, but your brain just starts to play tricks and then you're there like, I'm going to go up these stairs a little bit quicker than I intended to. Like, the demons.
Yeah. It's like when you're walking at night and you look behind you. This is definitely something I have done since being a child. When you don't, and in the middle of nowhere, in a very safe environment. Because, like, yeah, you're going to be a bit more conscious if you're in, like, a rough area or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But say you're in a perfectly fine area, especially an area that I've walked 101 times. Daytime walking, fine. Nighttime walking, I'm looking behind me.
But you know there's nothing there.
But you're just like, I have a, like, just talking about it is giving me the itches down my spine where I want to look behind me.
Yeah, which is what I really like. I love that. I love that feeling. Like, the amount of times I've seen, especially with 2020, like the lockdown videos where there'd be films that would be made over Zoom and stuff, and there'd be people chatting, and then suddenly something's just like coming out the back of the camera, and they just see it, and they're just like, and then it falls, you know, that kind of stuff. You never know. What if there's something behind you now and you're just not looking at the screen?
When we were a child, there's no logic for what that is except for the fact that we have instincts to survive a time that we don't need to anymore. Years upon years ago, it wasn't safe. There were predators who lived outside, blah, 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 blah. Now it's definitely probably trails of that, and also I think media has influenced it a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Media is very big for, I think, influencing things like, especially things like this, where it's like your horror, your spookums and your hauntings and all that kind of thing. Horror kind of does tend to use a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily, how do you word it?
Supernatural?
No, but, well, for example, wasn't it the Exorcist film that made Ouija boards so hated?
Oh, I don't know.
In the first place, because I'm pretty sure a Ouija board was just a talking board that you could buy from like Mattel. It was just a toy. Did you not know that? Where's my phone? It was
Google.
A toy. To Google.
Ouija board history. I love how the third one was phasmophobia. The board became a Ouija. That became Ouija was born in 1886 in Chatham, Maryland, and named in 1890 in Baltimore, where it was first manufactured. Since Ouija's inception, newspapers reported on its use as a way to communicate with the dead, solve mysteries, and even commit crimes.
How can you commit a crime with a Ouija board?
I don't know. It came straight out of American 19th century obsession with spiritualism. Oh. One of the first mentions of an automatic writing method used a Ouija board is found in China around 11,000 AD, in historical documents of the Song dynasty.
What? That's super old.
I think because of the meaning that surrounds these things, and I think that's what it falls down to, like the meaning that comes from it. You know, if you were at a seance table...
The wanting to reach to something that we don't know. Yeah.
If you were at a seance table, eating some hummus and like chips, you know, having some dip, having some crudité, you'd be like, this is fine. Someone then goes, lights turned off, crystal ball, everybody hold hands, creepy vibes going round. You'd be like, this is not time for a charcuterie board situation.
I don't know, man. Maybe the spirits like the charcuterie board. Maybe it brings them to the seance. Would you go to a seance?
If I was a ghost, I would, like, be summoned by some red pepper hummus, not gonna lie.
And some carrot sticks. Or pitta, maybe.
Ooh, a little pit, a little salad.
A little pitta, little
They'd try and summon me and I'd be like, is this vegan?
Is this vegan?
Sorry, is that soy?
Is that soy? Jordan's just there holding an offering of vegan butter and you're just there, I can't take that.
Yeah, I'm like, we've got fresh baked bread and I'm like, it's not got an egg glaze, has it?
Would you go to a seance?
No.
Even though you know that it's basically fake and it's all mind games and tricks.
I wouldn't go to seance, and I wouldn't actively go on a ghost tour, and I wouldn't go to a haunted house, and I wouldn't collect a haunted doll, and I wouldn't touch anything that someone told me was cursed. And I was staring at my old camera this morning like, that has a dead soul in it.
It probably.
Because they used to believe it captured souls.
They used to believe it captured souls. They used to believe that it took souls out of you. And obviously as well, photography when it started...
Did have a high mortality rate.
What, you mean in general?
Yeah, a lot of people died from cameras.
Oh, yeah. No, what I was going to... From cameras. Was it from cameras?
Yeah, from the... Because it was gunpowder?
Oh, the explosion, yeah. I was on about more when photography was becoming a thing. Photography was used for a lot of mortuary photography, which is going back to our Victorians, as we keep doing, because it's me.
We have kind of, like, dipped into the Victorians a little.
Yeah, we have. I mean, but like, obviously, cameras came, big thing, taking pictures. Did you ever see the picture of a cat that a Victorian person took? It was just their cat, so it was like the first cat picture, which is fun. But obviously they did a lot of mortuary photography. So you'll see them just dotted around on the internet if you do go looking. There'll be pictures of people that are just sat there, a lot of children, some of them standing, and a lot of them are corpses. Sometimes it's just a bunch of corpses. Sometimes it's a corpse with their sibling. They're still alive, by the way. Stand there with your dead sibling, take a picture. And that is creepy.
But that's not...
That's not?
It's not...
Creepy?
Unusual.
That they're dead?
You know, like, it's common in different cultures to still be around the dead for a few days afterwards, or longer.
No, but I'm on about taking pictures with the body. And sitting the body up and posing it.
But then I don't think that's weird.
I don't know, that gives me the ick. A little. I love it, don't get me wrong. Like, as part of history, I think it's absolutely... That is one of the reasons why I would not be surprised if someone was like, this camera's haunted. It's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it was from that period.
See, I have seen those photos. And you've sent me them, and I've been like,
yeah,
cool. Some Victorian children. And then you'd be like, they're dead, by the way. And I've immediately been like, don't like it anymore.
I didn't realise you had that response. I remember sending you those. So you don't even like the pictures?
Yeah, I was like, that's just some Victorian people. And then you were like, yeah, they're dead. And I was like, no, my phone is now haunted. No. And it wouldn't be
because what we have is a copy of a copy of a copy, it wouldn't be haunted anyway. The only thing that would be haunted, if it was haunted, would be the actual plate that the photograph was on, which we don't have.
Okay. I'm going to make a Doctor Who reference, which is not my strong point because I've not watched much of it and don't know well, but I want to say something about a picture of a weeping angel takes the form of a weeping angel.
It does?
I'm the worst person to make a Doctor Who reference. I really don't know it.
You see, all I remember about the Weeping Angels is the first episode where they turned up with David Tennant in it. It was called Blink, and they scared the crap out of me. After that, they started getting funny because they kept getting brought back for it, and then they weren't scary anymore because we knew what they were. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the first episode, ghosts, vibes be bad.
The vibes of ghosts, I don't trust them. The vibes of old haunted buildings, don't trust. Honestly, the vibes of a mouldy cheesecake also wouldn't trust, so put on that what you would.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, though. Like, I mean, why would you want to eat a mouldy cheesecake when you could just eat a cheesecake? Or a chocolate cake?
Would you rather?
Yeah, go on.
Go in a haunted building that you for sure knew was haunted by, like, 12 evil ghosties and ghoulies and demons.
Okay. Can they harm me? Can they kill me?
Yes.
Alright, okay.
Or eat a mouldy cheesecake.
I'd rather eat a mouldy cheesecake. I'm probably not going to die from a mouldy cheesecake, but demons will probably just want to kill me for the laugh.
I'm pretty sure, like, it is underestimated how much harm mold does to the human body.
True, but I feel like the doctors would have more of a chance of fixing it than a possession, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, this has been the episode.
This has been the episode. I have been Shannon. I have brought this unhinged topic, which I think actually went pretty well.
That's been Shannon. I've been Luke. The vibes of this episode were vibelicious.
Vibelicious.
At any one point, we are talking about the vibes.
Yeah. Always. Never not the vibes.
The vibes.
In case you don't know, we're both doing wiggly arms right now.
Check out Caffeine Addled Instagram. Check out the Caffeine Addled Minds. YouTube, the Caffeine Addled Guy. Games, YouTube. Check out all our other stuff. We're planning on doing some After Dark episodes.
We are. We're working on the name for this After Dark, After Hours special that will be available to certain people.
What
But we've not found the name yet.
do you think, listener of the vibes of hauntings? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
Of the vibes. Yeah. Is it true? Am I gonna get cursed? Let me know.
Is listening to this episode cursed? Ooh.
Am I just a bad vibe? Probably. Anyway. Bye! Good boy.
Bye!
Good boy.
Hey everyone, post-editing Luke. That's right, the Luke that is post the episode after the editing, remembering that I didn't do a trailer. So, if you head over to the caffeineaddledminds.co.uk website, that is a website on the internet. It can be found on any internet accessible website searcher thing. Type into the top bar caffeineaddledminds.co.uk. That's our website. I've redone it. It looks really cool. And over on that website, you will find lots of cool stuff. We've got bloopers. We've got bonus bits. Every episode has got an extra little addition that goes on the website now. I'm putting in a lot of work to it, so go check it out. If you like goofs, if you like jokes, if you want to know about the stuff that we just don't include in the episode because it's either a little too or a little too whoa. That's right. So go over to caffeineaddledminds.co.uk to listen to clips like these. Just honest bad energy is what that...
Would you not walk around one? Because I walk around one.
Shannon. Right. I don't want to downplay labour, as in people giving birth.
Okay.
But the grip I would have on your hand if we were in a haunted...
Would I have no hand left?
Boom. caffeineaddledminds.co.uk. Bye.